It's double game week 37 and we have activated the bench boost chip. Now in today's video we have 3 injured players to talk about in my squad, as well as the possibility of taking a -4 hit to get some really high potential players in my FPL squad. So let's waste no time at all and have a look at how my team might line up ahead of that Saturday deadline. Goalkeeper and defenders time. Ederson and Petrovic, actually a really good pairing for myself. I could easily just leave them the way it is till the end of the season, start Ederson the last game week of the season and be quite happy with how that goes, but there is a possible chance that Ederson leaves the side this week to make space for a third Man City player. Overall, the only downside to the pairing is they have both got 2 away fixtures, so that's possibly an excuse you could make to maybe get rid of one of those. But if you've got both of these on a bench boost, I really don't see the point in transferring any of them out, other than Ederson, if you possibly want an outfield Man City player, which is what I'm going to be possibly doing. Pedro Porro, Gabriel and Branthwaite are my 3 fit defenders I have to add, because Maguire and Shaw, of course, on the bench are just not going to feature whatsoever this week, so they will have to be transferred out if I want to do good this double game week and really make, good use of the bench boost chip. It's more than likely that Shaw goes to a Newcastle defender like Dan Burn, a Livramento, and possibly a Kieran Trippier. If we get a little bit more news, I would definitely make that move. Harry Maguire, I'm thinking of transferring out to possibly just a Brighton defender, but Brighton defenders are really lackluster. That I don't think there's, you're going to gain a lot of points from that move. You're possibly just going to gain, the appearance points and just get a 4-pointer from whatever Brighton defender you pick. I don't think clean sheets are in order, and they're not very attacking. Well, they are attacking, but they're not attacking very well, I have to add. So yeah, goals are a bit short for Brighton at the moment, but that would be the boring moves I do with those 2 defenders. But there is a more exciting -4 that I'm going to talk more in length about towards the end of the video. But yeah, defense I'm actually pretty happy with. Of course, some single game week players in there, but I don't think that matters too much when you actually look at their fixtures. You've got Branthwaite with a Sheffield United fixture at home, and of course a Arsenal fixture of Manchester United away. I'm smiling when I say that because Manchester United, missing some really key players, are playing so poorly. It's almost a locked-in clean sheet, but you know exactly how United are. They'll just get a random goal out of nowhere and just ruin everyone's day. So, yeah, that's the defense anyway, guys. I'm really happy with it, to be honest with you. A few changes I want to make here and there, but yeah, let's crack on with the midfielders. Now, midfielders, there's not a lot to talk about. I feel as though you look across the midfield line here, you see Foden, Gordon, Son and Palmer, and that is probably a lot of people's midfields at the moment. You might have a little bit of Arsenal sprinkled in there. You might have Salah. The only problem is Bruno Fernandes. What do we do with him? Of course, he missed Man United's last game. He has a hard double, if we're being really honest. He has Arsenal at home and Newcastle at home. Yes, they're both home fixtures, and I picked him in hoping the home fixtures boost him along a bit, but with a real hostile environment going down between the fans and the club at the moment, is it really going to give him much of a boost at all? And the most important fact, is he actually going to play 2 games, or is he just going to get a little few minutes in the second fixture? We really don't know. We really don't know. I think the only thing that's going to save Man United and get them, a European spot is Bruno Fernandes, and I would really like him as part of my team, but if we get news that he's going to be missed out of on both fixtures, of course he will be leaving the side. I want to make use of this bench boost as much as I can. If that means taking hits, I actually don't mind too much, especially with it being a double game week. Just a quick mention of a few things with the midfielders. Really pleased about the Newcastle midfield and my Newcastle players. Gordon, of course, being absolutely electric as normal. He's got a home fixture against Brighton, which I really am looking forward to because he just plays better at home. I don't know what it is. I say he plays better. He gets more returns at home for FPL. He's just outstanding as a player as a whole. Heung-min Son, of course, being a part of a very poor Spurs side at the moment. Maybe the addition of Richarlison and the shift to the left for Son maybe freshens him up a little bit and gives him a different way to play. Palmer, of course, absolutely slapping them in as normal. Chelsea really looking dangerous on attacks now. Foden, of course, still in the squad. Maybe a minute's risk, but I think that's sorted now. The illness is gone. Looking to attack the final few games of the season and win the title. He's going to be a part of it. And I say that every single week, to be honest. And he ends up doing quite well. Of course, last week being a little bit disappointing. But yeah, the midfield, there's not much else to say apart from actually pretty happy with it. And I don't think there's going to be much change to it up until the end of the season for game week 38. Just keeping an eye out on some Bruno Fernandes information at the moment. Now, just speaking on the forwards quickly, Jackson, Haaland and Isak, of course, all have double game weeks. And I think it's good to start on Jackson. He's a very funny player. He is a very, very funny player. A lot of my friends really don't like him. They think he's cocky, they think he's arrogant, they think he's just bad at finishing and football, which I actually wouldn't disagree with too much. But yeah, you just can't not have Nicholas Jackson this week, I don't think. I think it's such an exciting pick, as in you don't know what you're going to get with him. Yes, the chances are absolutely there for him. He has tremendous amount of chances, but a lot like Darwin Núñez, some of these shots that he's taken in amazing position, he's missing open goals, but then banging one in from this crazy angle. And Nicholas Jackson is a mysterious man. He is staying in the team. I don't want to get rid of him in case he does what he did again and just slap a few goals in. But yeah, interesting player. We'll just leave it at that with Nicholas. He's a mysterious man. He's an interesting player. Isak oozes class. Absolutely unbelievable. A bit disappointing that he missed a penalty recently. The addition of Callum Wilson to the Newcastle lineup. Is it worrying that penalties are now taken off him? I don't think so. I think Eddie Howe kind of understand that Isak is in a golden boot race. Despite Haaland really pulling away last game week, he is still part of that race. And I don't think it's the right thing to take penalties off him. He's taken them great. Yes, he's missed one, but I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I have to say, though, the Callum Wilson joining the side, I do think it makes Newcastle ever so slightly weaker. I don't really think that Wilson should be playing in the starting lineup. But then the massive injuries that Newcastle have, can they really combat that? I'm not too sure. So, yeah, of course, those two players remain as normal. Haaland, I mean, what else do I have to say then? I'm captaining him. I have to captain Haaland. Oh, you're going to say it's boring, it's this and that. He is the leading top goal scorer in the Premier League in a Man City side that is completely in form and will most likely go ahead and win the league. They're looking to close the gap with the goal difference and get as many goals as they can till the end of the season as well, just in case it comes down to that point. So I think going for someone else like Son or Palmer is going to be less than optimal. I think if you're looking to maybe get a differential captain, Foden's probably your guy. Foden's probably the guy you go for, or if you have De Bruyne, possibly De Bruyne as well. I feel as though the stakes for Man City are so high compared to the rest of the players in my squad, and you have to pick people who are responsible for the jobs of scoring goals and creating chances. So Foden and Haaland, for me, would be the clear captaincy options. Let me know, though, if you're really thinking of going for someone else, like a differential captain. Let me know in the comments below. But the next section, I'm just going to talk about some of the possible transfer moves I'm going to make this week with some pictures of the possible teams as well. So a bit of a different thing for the end of the video. I'm going to show you both of the teams that I'm thinking of lining up at that Saturday deadline with the transfers made. So you're looking right now at a team where I just used 2 free transfers. You'll be able to see on the bench there we have Dan Burn of Newcastle instead of Fabian Schär. And the defender of the second slot there from Maguire would be Ben White. The idea is that I could swap Ben White for a Brighton defender like a Van Heck, and then I would have the money to move up to someone like Saka at the end of the season in the midfield with that extra money in the bank. So yeah, that's the kind of thought process behind this team. Of course, no hits needed whatsoever. And you're going to get 2 great players in Ben White and Burn. Of course, you could put a Brighton defender in that number 2 slot, but I'm more leaning towards playing Ben White this week and having him for the last week of the season as part of a double Arsenal defence against Everton. Yeah, not too much else to say about that. That's just a no-hit transfer for my 2 free transfers there. So let's take a look at a different team now, a team with a -4 hit. Now, a bit more to talk about with this -4 hit team. We'll start with the goalkeeper transfer of Ederson out to Vicario. Yes, Spurs defensively aren't fantastic, but I know this man is playing a double game week against a Burnley side and a Manchester City side. It's a double game week. There's a possibility of a clean sheet with the Burnley fixture. There's the possibility of good save points with the Man City game as well. The defender transfers for that include getting Guardiola in the team. Of course, a really, really exciting defender transfer I really want to be a part of. I feel as though I'm going to miss out if I don't go Guardiola, so that's tempting me with the -4 hit. I feel as though he definitely will pay that in terms of returns. He's been absolutely fantastic for City, and to be honest, he's one of the higher players on the pitch when they get into that sort of left position. When they're holding that ball in the left corner, he makes advanced runs into the box, he makes important passes, and I feel as though that's going to result in attack and return. So that's the thought process behind getting Guardiola in the team. And of course, that extra defender of Schär on the bench is going to be transferred out for someone like Dan Burn. You do have 1.3 million in the bank here, so you have around 6 million to spend on the last defender once you've made the Guardiola and Vicario transfer. Sorry, getting a little bit lost in thought there. There is the possibility that you don't go for Burn and you go for Livramento or Hall. The problem is I don't know whether Livramento and Hall will even play both fixtures. I feel as though they're going to get one of the fixtures in the double. There's the real temptation that you go for Trippier as well, and I think if I downgraded Vicario just a little bit, I would be able to afford that move, and it is tempting, but at the moment I don't think Trippier is going to get more than one of the fixtures in the double as well, just like Tino and Lewis Hall. So it's a real coin toss to whether you go for Trippier this week. If the possibility is that he's fit and we know he's going to start both fixtures, I'm more than likely going to go Trippier because of the absolute potential he's going to have and the fact that nobody around my rank is going to own him, essentially. So, yeah, I'm really leaning towards this -4. It would be the case that Vicario maybe drops down to a Dean Henderson, and then Dan Burn would then go to Kieran Trippier. But, yeah, that's the thought process at the moment. The question is, do I take a -4 hit and go for some riskier players in likes of Guardiola, or do I just take it easy with 2 free transfers? Let me know what you think in the comments, of course. If you're still watching to this point in the video, hopefully that means you enjoy my style of content. If you do so, drop a subscribe on the channel and a like on the video. It will just let you know when my latest FPL video is out. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.
Oh,